Alright guys, welcome to a new video. This thing is a 1989 Yamaha Blaster 2-stroke. I know a lot of people in the comments wanted me to get a Blaster. I probably haven't owned a Blaster for like 2 years now, and they're really fun machines. Right now the prices on these things are just skyrocketed, and everyone wants like $2,000 for a Blaster, which I think I bought mine for $400 a couple of years ago, so I'm not spending $2,000 on a Yamaha Blaster. So this one I got on a trade. It was posted for $250, and I actually texted the guy, and he didn't text me back, and I'd already sold it. And then a guy I know in Appleton bought it, and then he traded me something for it. I'm not gonna tell you what he traded me for it, but you'll see that coming up in, I think, maybe a couple videos. You'll see what I got on that trade, which is, I think it was a pretty good deal. But yeah, this was included in the trade. It was basically a free machine included in the trade. So let's go over what this thing needs. So basically, all I know on this thing is that the guy took it apart and never put it back together. So we've got all the parts to put it back together right here. We've got the engine right here. And I did check the crank. The crank feels good. No up and down play at all. Little side to side, barely any side to side. And that rotates smoothly. Everything's good there. But I went to go and shift it, and it does not look like it shifts at all. So we might have to split the cases today on this thing, which isn't too bad of a job. But the little star, see how like loose that is in there? The shifting star, they should not be like that. So we're gonna see what's going on in there. We'll split the cases, make sure that's all in spec, put the cases back together, and hopefully we'll get this thing to shift properly. But you can see right now it's not in neutral, so I know something's going on with it. But the flywheel's in there, I checked all that, so that's all good. And then we've got the clutch right here to go on the other side of the engine. Clutch plates look good, clutch looks good. Let's go through a little bit of it right now just to see. I didn't really go through it too much because I wasn't really trading for this. I was trading for something else. So that looks good. Clutch basket looks good. No big wear on there. And they actually came with a spare clutch as well. Take a look at that next. So that clutch looks good. This one's a little rougher. So we've got the skid plate. Looks like these are the original shocks for the front. What's this? Breather. And we've got an extra cylinder as well. We'll take a look at that later. But here's the other clutch basket and clutch plates. You can see this clutch basket is broken right there. But everything else is good on the clutch. It's got extra reeds, and then, yeah, it's got extra controls and stuff like that. Looks like there's a grab bar in here. Let's see. Looks like that goes right there, like that. So at least we have a grab bar. And then we do have a new Elba Racing grab bar as well. Yeah, it's a little big, you can see, which is a bummer. Maybe we can make it fit somehow, but it doesn't look like it. Just a tad big. So this one would probably fit on the Suzuki over here. Oh yeah, that would fit perfectly. Maybe use it for that. Then we've got the air filter in there. Air filter, bolts, nuts, a couple plastic pieces. Take a look at the piston right here. So here's the piston. Looks pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. I don't see any weird colorings on it, like it got too hot or anything. So I think that'll be reusable. And it looks like the tail light's back there. Let's see. Oh, ignition. Looks like a tail light. So that's right there. Doesn't look like we've got the key anywhere, which kind of sucks. Maybe look around for the key. Maybe it's in one of these bags. I don't know where the key would be. And we've got the little bearing for the piston. A couple bolts. Maybe the key would be in there, but new. Huh. Yeah, I don't know where the key would be. Maybe in this bag. Looks like we don't have a key. Oh, new sprocket. Looks like there's a chain in there. I don't even know if that's for this machine, but what's in this box? Looks like something for, looks like a key for the flywheel. A couple other bolts. Where the heck is the key? More bolts. It looks like for the engine case. Alright, looks like they may be replaced. This might give us a little hint into what's wrong. Looks like this might have been replaced on the shifter. So that's everything in that thing, and then the air filter in there as well. Then we got the plastics. Looks like the plastics are painted black, which kind of sucks. Exhaust looks good. Not too bad. We can paint that up. Let's see what the pipe looks like. Oh, pipe is nice. It's even got the heat plate on there. Then we got the cover. Let's see what that... Yep, the pump is still in there. Let's see here. Oh yeah, oil pump is right there. Sweet. Let's see if it spins. Yeah, it spins. The cover looks nice. And here's the good cylinder right here. So this is the cylinder and the head together. We've got the reeds right there. And looking down there, it looks like the reeds are good, so that's awesome. And the cylinder looks really smooth in there. No imperfections at all. Nice big spider right there. Yum. Yeah, the head looks good. No wear on the head. So we'll probably just reuse that cylinder if the piston works out for that, or just buy a new piston. Then we've got the oil canister container. Shifter right there. What's in this bag? Maybe the key's in here. Kickstart mechanism. Kickstarter. Manifold. Looks like something to brake. More bolts. But yeah, those are all the parts. But this is the quad right here. You can see these plastics are painted black as well. Doesn't look horrible. The red seat on it is pretty nice. No rips in the red seat. Gas tank's on here. Looks good. All the controls are on here. Throttle isn't stuck. Light controls, on off switch. Brakes are here. Brakes look like they're working. Clutch cable and clutch is here. Carburetor is here. Looks like the frame was painted white at one point. We got a red chain. Looks like we've got the airbox. Sprocket in the back's not too bad. Tires are a little rough. What is that thing? Caterpillar? Looks like it might be poisonous. Yum. Lots of bugs on this thing. But the back brake looks like it's broken right here. Looks like it was a cable that went to right here. That's broken off. So we just have to buy a new cable for that. Looks like the back suspension's not soft, so that's good. But yeah, really all in all, it's really not that bad. Really, it's just the engine that needs to be fixed. The shifting problem. So once we get that figured out, we'll throw it all back together and rebuild this thing. So let's start digging into it. Let's get this engine split and see what's going on internally. Because right now, like I said before, I don't think this is shifting properly. It just sounds weird in there. Looks like something broke off of here too. Sometimes it's the oil drain bolt that's causing problems, so we'll try to loosen that up and see if it shifts. Maybe it'll work. I've seen that a lot of times, is people put aftermarket oil bolts in and then it doesn't shift because it's hitting the transmission. Try to get this off of here. Holy cow. There we go. Broke free. Maybe it's just too long. Doubt it though. That's too easy of a fix. It's pretty long. Doesn't look like it was hitting anything though. Let's see, does it shift now? Doesn't seem like that's working. Alright, let's just split the cases. Alright, we gotta get the flywheel off. Looks like it might be probably a 17, right? There we go. That guy came off. Left hand thread here. There we go. Come apart, but we'll probably have to take the transmission apart anyway because something's going on with the shifting. It's either that shifting star that's not working, or maybe a shift rod is bent, or something's weird. All right, get this guy off. There's a couple 10 mils it looks like on there. That's good. These look like they're going to be challenging to get out. These are all screws in here. Okay. Yeah. Those came pretty easily. And those are on there. I think that's all of them. Alright, time to split this thing. Alright, using our case splitter. Twist these guys in. Right now we're going to crank this off of here using a 17mm. Hopefully pulls these cases apart. And it is pulling. You can see it splitting in the middle. That one came off really even. Just take these guys out. That was pretty easy. Well, that whole thing took like 10 minutes to do. Not too bad. Just lift right out and the transmission should stay put. Aha. Take a look at the bearings first here. That's good. Bearings feel really good. Let's see what's going on in the transmission now. See what the crank feels like. Crank feels good. So far everything looks really good. No damage anywhere, so we might get lucky on this one. Alright, we got the transmission out and checking everything over. Everything looks perfect on it. No metal shavings or anything anywhere, no rubbing. Everything's super smooth. We've got the forks, no excessive wear anywhere, no rubbing. So the forks look really good, not bent. So everything's looking really good. There's the other piece of the transmission right here. Really smooth, straight, no problems. Bearing on here feels really good. Star looks good. Nothing I see is wrong with it. The grooves are perfect, no rubbing anywhere. Bearing sits in here really nicely. Super sturdy in there. Spin's perfect. This rod's not bent. So I'm not seeing any issues with this thing. The only thing I could think of was maybe the shift rod was bent and preventing it from shifting, and it kind of looks bent if you look at it straight on. See, like it's kind of bending towards the right. I do have an extra one of these we can test out to see if it is bent, but maybe that's the problem. Not too sure. But we'll put everything back together and see if it seals up. Alright, so I think I found the problem. So this spring is supposed to go right here, and this thing's supposed to go like this. And we found that in the parts box. And if you look on here, it's right there in the parts diagram. We were missing that. And it looks like that was stripped out. So it looks like we have to re-tap that. And that bolt goes right there. So we gotta figure out what size that bolt is, re-tap that, and hopefully that'll hold, and that will make that a lot tighter in there, and that should shift properly. So I guess we'll put everything back together and then work on that. But yeah, I guess that's all that was wrong with it. Didn't really even have to split the cases, didn't look like. But it was good to check out everything and make sure it was all good. So now we know that that's not an issue. So we'll put everything back together and yeah, work on getting that thing tapped. Alright, we got the engine back together here. Spins nice and smoothly. Crank. And it does shift throughout the gears. It is a little difficult to shift because the engine is out of the frame, but it does shift. I shifted through the gears. We got the little guy on there down below. Re-tap that. Everything's good to go. I did put the new shift shaft through. That's the old one. This is the new one, and it went right in and wasn't a problem. So that one must have been bent. So that's all fixed up. Let's try to get the clutch on here. I don't know how it goes on, so we're gonna have to try to figure that out based on pictures. So let's see if we can get this thing fixed. Also, if you see, I lined up the 2 dots right there. Alright, so the only thing we're missing right now is the little ball bearing that goes in the middle of there, and I cannot find one anywhere, so looks like we're gonna have to order that up. I'm still going to put the rest of the clutch together and put the whole engine together. We have to order up gaskets for it as well. So clutch plates go on next, since we can't get the little ball in there. Start with the friction plate first, and then just continue on. Bunch of these. These are all oiled up already. Last one. And then so we don't have the ball, but usually that goes right in there, and this goes like that. Springs on. Alright, engine is back together as much as I can go right now. We've got to order up the new clutch gasket. We have to order up the ball for the clutch, and then the top end gasket kit. We should be good to go. Let's get this thing back in the quad here. See if it bolts in, and we'll mess with the shifting, see if it can shift, and all that fun stuff. Looks like it goes right through the swing arm, so we gotta get that swing arm bolt out. There's a mount right here. And then there should be one down here, right here. The mount for the bottom, but let's see if it shifts now. Alright, I think I got it to shift properly now. Let's check. Neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, fifth, fourth, third, second, first, neutral. Alright, so it shifts properly now. We're going to get the chain on next, and then probably the piston. Goes right there. Alright, so here's the cylinder. It actually looks like that gasket's brand new on here. Look at that base gasket, it looks brand new. I think we can probably just reuse this gasket right here. Looks fine to me. So instead of waiting for a new gasket, we'll just use this one. Let's check out the head though. Let's crank these off of there. See what this gasket under here looks like. Looks really good. Head looks great, and then gasket looks good as well. We'll just reuse those, see what happens. If it's low compression, we'll replace them, but for now, we'll check and see if that works. It should. We'll get the piston all lubed up here. Get over. Pretty smooth. Yeah. Feels really high. That's awesome. All right, let's see if we have some spark here. Now that we got everything hooked up. Let's see, we'll put the ground right here. See what happens. Ooh, spark there. I hooked the wires over here, so those are all hooked up from the engine, and then I got the key fab on, the ignition, and I got the key to the on position. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully we have something. Alright, here we go. Oh yeah, good spark. Sweet. Right, gonna let the chain soak here a little bit. Chain oil on her. Alright, the chain's soaking. We're going to order up a couple parts we need for it. So we need the little ball for the clutch that goes in between the rods. And then we need a gasket for the clutch and the stator side over here. And then what else do we need? We need a brake cable for right here, the rear brake cable that's broken off. We'll order that up. And then I think that's pretty much it to get the quad running. Got quite a bit accomplished today. We got the whole engine split. We got the transmission looked at, inspected, all the bearings inspected, crank inspected, all the shifting mechanisms inspected, and everything was perfect. So this quad should run great once it's all put back together, but that will be next video. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely more to come, and hopefully first start and maybe first ride video coming up next video. If you guys liked the video, please subscribe and follow me on Instagram, 2_vintage_. I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. And until next time, we are out.